This is Sound Off 60.
I want to make sure that the best team is the champion.
Yeah.
I want to play.
And that's key.
If that tournament comes up with this is the best team, I'm for that.
Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show.
With me?
Hey.
Without me? All
That
right.
might be the dumbest argument we've ever had.
You
I
are
like
the
the way he
most
does that.
idiotic imbecile if you thought that argument did not have merit. Look, did not.
All right,
McCarron.
So you're talking about my LSU quarterback?
Yeah.
What you put
With me, without me.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
We are T-minus 3 days to the
Yes.
NFL draft. We've been talking about it off and on for about, seems like 10 months.
For a while.
It's finally
For a while,
here.
yeah.
It's coming this week from New York, Thursday night, ESPN full coverage, and it'll go on and on into the weekend. 7 rounds, as we know. We're going to have a little fun with that tonight,
Yeah.
okay? We
Okay.
got Donald Sterling. Remember we
You don't
talked
ever
about
tell
him?
us these
Huh?
things. You don't ever tell us these things in
I know
advance.
beforehand. I mean, but it's. See,
I'm
you
a
know
little
these things.
skeptical here.
See, yeah.
Little suspicious.
See, you know these things, though, but that's okay, though. I mean, we're always pretty much on point. We can pick up on it.
All right,
Not a problem.
Look, whatever you got, throw it.
Do it.
That's
Do
right.
it.
All right.
Do it.
You guys come up with these asinine
Wait a minute.
responses.
Wait, no.
Then I got to
Sometimes-
be on my feet. I got to
Okay.
tap dance around that. So
Okay.
we're going to tap dance
Okay.
together.
It's gonna get good.
All right,
I can
Donald
see.
Sterling. The decision came down from the commissioner after last week. So we'll get into that later in the
I'd
show.
forgotten about that.
It was historic, but not shocking. We'll
No,
do that
not
a
at
little
all.
bit later.
Not
We'll
at
do a
all
little bit
shocking.
later.
Not at all shocking.
And a lot
Not
of
at all.
baseball, guys. A lot of baseball on the LSU front, McNeese front, and
Yeah.
basketball too. The NBA got crazy in the first
It did.
round
It did.
of these playoffs. We'll
Really?
do that and
I
a whole lot.
missed
I
that,
got some
I
other
guess.
It did.
little
No, it
side
was
notes.
pretty exciting.
Let's go on the NFL draft. All right. I said this about 2 weeks ago, maybe even 6, and I said it again last week. This Johnny Manziel story and
Okay.
the character that he is and the talent that he is really does make this a different draft in the first round and maybe early draft.
I
because
agree
this
with
could
you
go
to a
crazy.
degree.
But yeah,
He
it's-
may fall to the second round. I doubt it.
I
but-
agree with you to a
but-
degree.
and
But
there's-
you say different. Isn't
It
there
is
a
different.
Johnny Manziel in every draft?
Well,
Come on.
Tebow was kind of that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. But there's somebody that captures the imagination that nobody's quite
Or
sure
a scenario.
about.
Or a
Exactly.
scenario.
Exactly.
You know what isn't a factor now? Like 15 minutes of fame or up? Michael Sam.
He's on my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will
And you're
he
right,
be
Scooter. We
drafted?
said that. And you're right.
Will he be drafted? Now, if he doesn't get drafted, it will be a major story because the subplot.
well,
Why
and you're
did
Well,
right.
I think it will be,
But-
but it'll be late.
but
But
Rick-
you know, when the whole him coming out of the closet
Exactly.
story broke, it was pointed out then. He's not a real
Right, he was-
high-round draft
yeah.
pick.
No,
and that
no,
was
no.
stated
He's
too,
a
Scooter,
good
you're right.
college player.
Good college player.
But with that baggage, and I shouldn't say baggage, but with that behind him, that doesn't make it any
you're gonna
easier
get in trouble.
for him to be accepted or to be drafted by some NFL team. Just saying it. It was well documented. It was well known. That was the case. But, you know, I still have my thoughts on something like that being in that type of an environment. I mean, did we really need to know?
Well,
You know what?
it's time to know. It's time that
I mean, and I
a
understand
gay
that,
athlete
Rick,
breaks
but
the barrier of silence, if you will,
and I
and
understand
comes
that
out.
though. But it's just,
He chose
I mean,
to do
is he thinking down the road as to the consequences and some of the things that this may entail by him doing that? I don't know who. I don't know what was his
Well,
train
they
of
got
thought.
it out of the way. You notice I hadn't even heard his name mentioned in weeks.
I haven't
We got
either.
that out of the way early to where it's really not much of a factor.
And I understand that,
Because
Scooter.
there's so much drama in the first 2 rounds,
Yeah.
really.
There
With all
would
the
be-
quarterbacks and all the receivers and
It would
Clowney
be more
and Manziel.
that could be a more interesting story if like he had been a projected first rounder.
Oh,
to see
Exactly.
what
Oh, no
happened.
doubt about
Yeah,
it.
no
Scooter,
doubt
yeah.
about it. But
it would have been,
Kevin,
no doubt.
You're kind of forcing me or us when you
I don't mean to
ask that
force you.
open-ended question. Yeah, I
Well,
think you do.
well, but-
no, you're trying us to psychoanalyze. I think the man wanted to finally live the truth of what he is and his lifestyle.
Right.
Plus the fact
and
it
I
was
get all
coming
that.
out.
And I get all that.
It was coming out.
Oh, it was. I mean,
And
everybody
remember, this
knew,
was
but
no
His
surprise.
teammates knew.
they all knew but us. Okay, let me
Well,
just say that. But the point, Rick, you know, when you say that, this is what confuses me. He say that he wants to be honest and he wants to come out and he wants to do all this that you put out there and everything, and then he goes back and say, well, you know, I really love playing football. You got a problem there because not everybody.
I don't get you.
Not to him.
I don't know. You lost me on that.
Not to him, but to the general public. For us looking in on that, saying, okay, now how about the other 21 guys? What are they going to feel like?
I think you're roundabout. You're roundabout trying to make the point of it being a distraction
what I'm saying.
and a locker room circus.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well,
Rick.
then say that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And it's like, you know, was all of that thought about? It's much more to this than what we are just putting out there.
Yeah, but this
it's much
was a
more to it.
preemptive strike. Everybody, all his Missouri teammates knew it. Just about
you're
everybody in
missing the point,
Columbia,
Scooter.
it turns out, knew
What
it.
about his new teammates? That's where we're going. That's over with, Scooter.
Yeah, but they would have known.
Got to live with it.
I understand, but
Got to live with it. The man wanted
That's
to
a tough-
He wanted to walk.
I know you lost me on this one.
Yeah,
I
he
got
done
to say.
lost me.
Nah,
but
but
he wanted to be truthful. He wanted
and
to
I
finally
understand
come
that.
out and be truthful.
I
So
understand. But,
there you have it. All right.
But he's got to weigh the
Well,
consequences
let's get back to
of being
Manziel.
truthful, though. That's all my point is.
Here's a question. We haven't brought this up. It's been a year, and I'm telling you guys, and I'm not looking to pick a fight.
What?
I'm not.
Listen,
I know you may think I am.
you always do.
In the end, I have most of the time been proven right.
Not all the
A.J.
time.
McCarron, in the long run,
There you go.
will be a better NFL quarterback than Johnny Manziel.
No, I can't argue with you on that. That's the first. And I'm going to tell you why.
But
This is
only,
why, Rick.
Only
Wait.
because we're not
I can't-
sure.
What? You have flipped.
I know.
You have flipped.
Believe
man.
me, I know. And believe me, a lot of his success is due to Nick Saban. But let me get back to this point right here. This is what I say, Rick, and I say why. I agree with you to a degree. Durability. That's what it's
You're
going to take.
losing me again.
No. Durability.
I need some help here.
I think Johnny Manziel,
You need
the
psychoanalyst or
the
what?
type of player that he is, I think he's going to cut back on a lot of years that he could have possibly been a great NFL quarterback because of what he does.
When I say the long run, I'm not
Because
talking
what he
about
does.
That's
15
any
years down the road.
quarterback.
I'm talking
No, it's
about
not
within
any
a year or
quarterback.
two. He will be.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay, I'm
You're
wrong.
wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Both.
Make your case.
I am
Okay.
just. If A.J. McCarron ever starts a game in the NFL, I will be shocked.
Okay.
No, wait a
You're
minute.
wrong.
He said he was this great
He-
He's
he's
a
college
a
quarterback.
great kid.
He will
He
eventually.
was a
he'll-
perfect quarterback for that Alabama system, I
Yes,
guess
he
you
was.
could say.
Yes, he was.
But he can't make the throws you got to make in the NFL.
I'm not convinced
sorry.
of that.
Okay.
I'm not convinced
You
of
did-
that.
I saw him play in
So what-
person 3 years. You didn't.
No, I did
and
not.
And you noticed that more. In fact, it jumps out at you.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
So what you saying?
He has the luxury of being able to miss more throws than most.
Okay.
And he does.
All right.
And I'm not
Let me
trying to
interject.
rat on
Let
him.
me
Y'all
interject.
brought it
So,
up.
Let me
So-
interrupt
so, but
you.
I wanna say
didn't
something too,
say
though.
he was going to be an all-pro. You can have a weaker arm and still play and be productive in the
All right.
NFL.
Ask me, I don't know, because we don't, Manziel, nobody knows how he's going to do.
Nobody knows.
You could end up being right. He might start one game, be better than Manziel.
Exactly.
But if I had to pick between the two,
Yeah.
it's not even close. I take Manziel.
Oh, now
There's way
look,
upside.
I would too initially, but I said in the long run,
well,
the proving
what-
ground of the NFL, the grind of the NFL, the durability factor
And
that
that's
Mr.
key.
Guidry
That
brought
is
up.
key.
He will be a better NFL quarterback in the end than Johnny
The only
Manziel.
good thing is, I mean,
He won't be as exciting. Okay?
I don't think anybody is going to draft McCarron with the idea you got to come start next year.
No, I think he's going to be a
no.
backup quarterback.
Okay.
No.
But I
He's a
just
project.
think in the end,
He's a project.
In the
He's
end-
got it up here.
The
in
system
the
made him
end, he will
successful.
be too limited physically.
Maybe. I'm just saying, Johnny Manziel
That's
is exciting. He's got all this. He's got all
Okay.
these different
We're going to have to talk
things
about it
going
next
on.
segment.
But look,
Just-
this is what gets me out of all of what Scooter says and everything. And I can agree to some point with Scooter in saying that, no, he's not going to start for any NFL team. He's not that kind of guy. He's a
AJ,
backup.
you're talking about,
AJ.
McCarron.
But this is what gets me, and it just blows me away. You've got 2-3 national championships.
well,
Are you really
that
crediting
doesn't
those
matter.
to him?
And you, huh?
I sound like I'm
But wait.
blasting the guy.
But
and
no,
I don't mean
Here
but
we
I'm
go
just saying-
again.
I'm
This is
just
like
being
round
honest.
I'm just
4 with
confused
this
at the
argument.
success that team has had, and we're sitting here saying he'll never start for an NFL team.
Well,
If AJ,
I don't know.
If AJ McCarron had gone to Clemson, or maybe a bad example, South
Okay.
Carolina, nobody would have ever heard of it.
I see your point, Scooter. No, I see your point.
If he was going to win some conference championships, they would have heard of him. But the question is, could he have done that on his own?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Alabama would have still won all
Probably
those
not.
national championships,
You think
and
so?
he wouldn't have any.
Oh,
You think
without
so? I don't
A.J.
know.
McCarron,
That
you're
sounds
wrong
good.
about
That's-
that.
Scooter,
You're
that's a
wrong
pretty tough
about
call
that.
right there, Scooter.
No.
They would have
tough call.
plugged somebody else in there. and
No,
been
you're
fine.
shortchanging
Well, look,
him on that front.
This is what I'll come
You're
back with you on that,
shortchanging
Scooter.
the man.
In one of the post-press conference, Nick Saban said we couldn't have done it without him.
He lied. We got to go to break. Of course he lied when he doesn't agree with Hobbs. We're back in 2.5.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort.
Behold the original light beer. The inventor of great taste and less filling. The one that dared to say maybe light beer should taste like beer. And for a limited time, Miller Lite is back in the original light can.
So what are we doing at Tarver Ford this month? The lot's filling up with F-150s. I'm thinking we should do $12,000 off every one of them.
What about $13,000 off? That'll really get their attention.
That's it. $13,000 off of MSRP on every new 2013 F-150 in stock.
What about all of our new cars and SUVs?
Let's do everything. We got the largest inventory we've ever had. Let's put it all on sale. The only problem is I don't know how we're going to fit that all in one ad.
Man, I think you just did.
Come see us at Tarver Ford in Sulphur for the Everything's on Sale sale.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Sound Off 60.
This is it. The big bang of light beers. The one that started it all. 96 of the hardest working calories in the business. And for a limited time, Miller Lite is back in the original light can.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at L'Auberge Casino. Mark it down. It's coming up. Liquid Society Party by the Pool,
It's
May
coming.
22. That's May 22. The Wallflowers will kick it off. Tickets on sale now. It's a great price to see a really top flight musical act in the
It should be a lot
Wallflowers.
of fun.
County Crows are coming up for Liquid Society. Kenny Wayne Shepherd, who was going to perform last year, and I was here in a rainstorm waiting on Kenny Wayne.
Everybody
He's
was.
coming back again.
Everybody
We'll
was.
have another big announcement later on in the show. An icon of Southern rock and roll, one of my all-time favorites, is also coming
can't
to
believe
L'Auberge
he's
Casino.
coming. I'm with you. I can't believe that one is coming.
It's
Well, I
coming.
won't
We'll
give
tell
it
you
away.
later on in the show.
What's with all the hogs?
Oh, it's promotion
Yes.
every year. It's the Holy Hall promotion every year we
There's
have.
about 20 of those.
I know. There's a big promotion going
Some
on
of
down
them,
here at
a lot of
L'Auberge
them, some of them
Casino.
bigger than my car.
Some of them cost as much as cars.
Oh yeah, it's like a quarter of $1,000,000 Harley Davidson riding while bike giveaway here at L'Auberge Casino. So you got to come down here and
Pretty
play
big promotion,
and
Ricky.
get yourself registered because there's a lot going on as we're getting ready to kick off the summer. Back on the NFL draft.
Okay.
Back
Number
on Manziel.
one, the Texans. Will they stay number one and will they take Clowney?
They'll take
Gazzola
Clowney.
with the American
They'll
Press
take
did a
Clowney.
neat little thing, a retrospective of 2006, and it was Vince Young, a hometown boy, Manziel, quasi-hometown, and then Mario Williams, a defensive end, Clowney, a defensive end. It was interesting how history repeats itself.
You're right. You're right, Rick.
They're going to stay number one.
Yeah.
They're going to stay number one, but will they take Clowney? And I think
I
they
think
should, and I
Clowney would
think
be
they
the best
will.
bet for them at this point. I do.
But boy, they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, but
Can they get a Bortles later? Doubtful. Doubtful.
No, he's going to go.
He's going to go in the top at least 15.
Yeah. When you look at the Texans, Rick, you know what? you say to yourself, how do you offset all the quarterback situation they've had, then lose your coach? I mean, I hate that Gary Kubiak. And can you put it all on him? You know, you say, God, was it really
They
all?
just went into the.
Yeah,
we're not going to spend a lot of time on the Texans.
know,
But
but
Schaub was okay, and then he just went into the toilet when he started throwing pick sixes.
Weren't they just overrun with injuries?
They were, Scooter. They were running back wise. I mean, wide receiver
Yeah,
wise.
but
I mean,
it started with Schaub in the pick sixes.
Yeah. But
they didn't get off on a good start, and then he just went down here.
But my philosophy, Rick, if you've got J.J. Watts on one side and Clowney on the other, you're going to get the ball back a hell of a lot more times than what you would have if you didn't have one of them.
We'll see.
I promise.
We'll see. Number 2, the Rams they stay, and I got my little mock. Greg Robinson.
You did a mock?
A top 5.
Yeah.
A top 5 where I kind of blended in all these different opinions and what I think this team. Sammy Watkins, exciting player.
Sammy's a player, man.
Exciting player.
Sammy's a player,
the Jaguars
man.
need all kind of help.
I am excited.
And they're number 3. There's so much that can happen, which is the fun of the draft.
Right.
Will they stay up there? Will they pick?
How are the Jaguars not the number 1 pick? They had to be the worst team in the NFL last year.
Apparently not. No, the Texans won only 2 games. The Texans
they
were
weren't
really bad.
Wasn't that bad?
Really bad.
No,
What you got
not
here?
at all.
And I got
But
Manziel. I mean, all the
got him
composite of the
forward
mocks
to where?
draft to the Browns. If the Browns, they don't have a quarterback either. I mean, they've got.
Where do you have Manziel going, Rick?
Number 4 to the Browns, if they stay. I mean, look at the Cleveland Browns. They need somebody that's going to ignite that franchise. Brandon Weeden.
Yeah.
Remember him? He's gone. He's with the Dallas Cowboys now.
Yeah.
They need a quarterback.
But you know what? I mean, if we go back.
There's no doubt in my mind that the most interesting, what everybody's waiting around for, is when does Manziel go?
And you're right.
Yeah.
You're
And
right,
I-
Scooter.
I-
And to who? And to who?
I think his arm is better than people give him credit for, much better than McCarron's. And I think he has that it factor. I'm not saying I'm guaranteeing he's going to be a star in the NFL.
What you're saying?
Right.
But some guys just have it. And I think he's got it.
He's got it.
Tyrann Mathieu had it, okay?
Yeah.
He lost it as far as LSU goes.
Right.
Yeah.
He was kind of the wild card last year in the draft to a degree,
Yeah.
not
Good
the
point.
degree Manziel is.
He did
had
well.
that. He had
did
that
well.
it factor, and he had a heck of a rookie season
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I see that it factor, you better listen to me. You hear?
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. And you know what? I'm not, by no means am I saying Manziel is not an exciting player. But when you look at a team to draft a person of that stature, you're looking at that person becoming the franchise, the picture of the franchise, Rick. You're not drafting because he's exciting to watch.
Well, he may end
You're
up being
drafting
like
because
a.
he's gonna become
he
the
may end
franchise
up being
face.
in the Tebow sense. No
Oh.
matter who drafts him, he's going to be the face of the franchise.
That's what I'm saying,
The media
Scooter.
will make sure of it.
That's what I'm
no
saying.
doubt.
But keep it in mind, I am so high on him, and I'm not a GM. Don't pretend to be one. Keep in mind, I saw him play twice in person. It was probably the 2 worst games of his college career.
And he's still
I saw him at
impressive.
one of his
And
better
I've
ones in.
still never been so impressed
Yeah,
with
I
him
was
as a
too.
player.
I saw him play with the Alabama the first game of the year, and I was like,
I can
this
imagine
kid's
what he would
doing.
have.
What? I mean, it was unbelievable.
I can't play even on TV on this show a scout or GM or a quarterback analyst. But the pundits that I've read, the majority feel his mechanics are awful.
Well, he's not
Awful.
He's not your.
He's got a strong arm, but he's awful with mechanics in regards to his footwork, how he throws. He doesn't drive through the throw. He uses too much of his arm.
Well,
all these different things. Can some of them be fixed?
Yeah,
Tebow
yeah,
could
can
not
be.
be fixed.
Well, but
Tebow had a
Tebow
motion
never
problem.
could throw.
Tebow had a motion
just
problem.
didn't have.
Tebow never was a. Tebow was a fullback playing quarterback.
Yeah,
Manziel is an athlete.
I know,
playing
interesting
quarterback.
that Tebow didn't have a strong arm, but he's a hulking fella, and Manziel is about,
Manziel is
you know,
an athlete. I mean, say what
diminutive.
you will, you'll admit he's a heck of an athlete.
Who?
Manziel.
Oh,
That's no doubt. He
stellar.
is.
And how many
Stellar.
times do you get a chance to draft a guy with eyes in the back of his head?
Yes.
Doesn't come up very often.
No, I got
Okay.
you. But
You
it's a pro and con. It's a pro and
It
con.
is. It is,
And then
Rick.
he's going to bring circus-like
And-
media attention.
and-
Oh, he will.
You know?
And the only thing that I think that are some GMs that are in the war room thinking about is that, okay, we've got Johnny, 3rd and 17, and he doesn't have an open receiver. Johnny takes off running. He gets hit by one of the all-pro linebackers.
Well, that's
I mean,
any
I know, Scooter,
quarterback,
but I'm saying,
though, Kevin.
but No, but not any quarterback. You've got some that's got to know you don't have to make that play to be famous.
Robert Griffin
You don't
III,
have to.
Scooter. Robert
That's
Griffin
a prime
III.
example, Scooter.
He's
You don't
bigger
have
than
to.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Johnny Manziel.
That's my point.
And he got beat up.
Oh, badly.
Okay.
Badly. He
So-
should have come out that game, stayed in.
Yeah.
That could have been
Manziel,
that kid career.
You look at Manziel, I remember thinking at SEC Media Days last year when he was there, you know, in street clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's not only not very big, he doesn't look like he's ever lifted a weight in his life.
No, he doesn't.
I mean,
no, he doesn't. No, Scooter's right. I mean,
but
I've seen him.
the guy can play
He
football.
can play. He can play, Scooter. Is that enough, though?
He can play
Is that enough?
college football. Can
that
he
enough?
do, like you just said, A.J. McCarron did what he did in Alabama system
Totally
in the
different
college game.
situation.
Why is this different? A.J.
Well, I will say
McCarron
this.
did what
Well,
he did
but like-
in the college game in the SEC.
And he
Can
performed
it
well.
translate in
He
the NFL?
performed well. I'm sticking with my story. Alabama would have won those national championships.
You're wrong, but
with
go
just
ahead.
about anybody. They
Not what
plugged
Nick
in there.
Saban says.
If you took Manziel away from the Aggies the last 2 years, I don't know who they would have beat. Maybe somebody, but nobody in the SEC.
No, he was it. He was it. He got a little help from
Yeah.
Evans now. He's just all
And that's
pro.
somebody else
player.
that's going high, too.
Yeah,
Great
he is.
player.
He is.
He
Okay.
is.
But can it translate to the NFL? That's the question.
That's a topic,
I
Rick,
can't
that we
give
said
you
here.
that guarantee. I don't know.
You're right about
but
that.
to me, that's what
Rick-
makes him the most
I know.
interesting
But-
person
But
in
Rick,
this
go ahead.
draft.
before we go, we said this 2-3 years ago about Tim. I mean, college player, phenomenal, unbelievable. Heisman Trophy winner, just unbelievable. But guys, when this guy set foot on an NFL football field, it was a different person.
Yes. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right.
But you remember with Tebow, before the draft, they were talking about, well, maybe he can play tight end.
Yeah.
You know, they're not saying that about Manziel.
I know.
You know?
He could have played on an NFL roster as a halfback, a tight end, or a hybrid.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow
Yeah.
could have done that.
That should have been his
He chose
position,
not
Rick.
to do that.
That
Yeah,
should have
he
been his
chose not to do
position.
that.
You
Up
are-
against
you are
the
right.
clock. We're going to get back to the draft and go on black and gold in the Saints a little bit later on. We want to toss around the needs of the Saints and who they're going to go for. I still say it's a kid from LSU, but I'll table that for now. I'll table that
I like
for
that, though.
now.
We can
when we
talk-
come back,
I like
it's
that.
baseball. We want to talk LSU and McNeese baseball. We'll do that when we come back to Jack. Stay right here.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Douglas Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatment you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at L'Auberge Casino. Go from the football to baseball. Let's go start with the purple and gold of the LSU Tigers. 13-10-1, something like that in the SEC. Has this team become mediocre? Is this a mediocre in the standard of LSU baseball? They dropped the series to
Mediocre's too
A&M
strong.
over there.
Mediocre's too strong, but they are just a good team.
Yeah.
Last year they were a great team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really and truly were. This year,
powered
if
by
you
what?
look at
Powered by what last
well,
year?
the pitching and
Right, yeah.
the two big hitters they don't have, Mason Katz and Ray Prime, so
Right.
they have not begun to replace.
Right.
And I don't think their defense is okay, but it's not the great defense they had last year. They're not a bad team. I mean, if you are judging them by past LSU teams, yeah, they don't measure up very well.
And that's not fair.
It is, because nobody is.
No, that's not fair.
I mean, just the game has been neutered to the point that, I mean, it's such a different game. Everybody struggles to score. In the SEC, I think Florida has kind of proven themselves as the best in the SEC. The rest of them, the next 10, I don't know what the difference in them is. It's just who gets the key hit in any given game.
Right.
And I've never seen coaches try to pull so many levers. You know, you used to just sit back and wait to see who hit the 3-run homer.
Yeah. They're earning their checks.
Every
They're earning their
SEC
paycheck.
game. And I mean, I don't think this is a great, I mean, I know it's not a great LSU team.
Yeah.
But you know, we were talking the other day, and I was about Omaha, and I said, I don't think they'll make it to Omaha, but you can't trust them not to go to Omaha.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, do they have the core? I know they've got some pitching issues now.
No, I think their pitching is fine. Now, their bullpen had a little hiccup at A&M.
Yeah.
But in the end, they gave up 4 and 3 runs. You should be able to win with that.
Yeah, in the college game.
Yeah.
In the college game. All right. McNeese head coach Justin Hill may very well be in-house and talks some Cowboy baseball later on in the show.
Yeah.
But we'll say this. They got a few more conference series. You know, it's funny, Kevin. I think it was 2 weeks ago before vacation, I wrote a column saying how good spring sports was going on at McNeese.
Yeah.
And the Cowgirl softball team was fronting that, and Justin Hill and the Cowboys was also very much in the mix. I leave town, they lose 7 straight games.
Yeah.
I mean, is that like the Madden jinx? Literally, they lose 7 in a row.
No, they were doing good before
and
you
then
left,
I come
Rick.
back and
You
they
come
win
back,
a couple.
they lose 3 in a row.
Well,
I mean, win 3 in a row.
Yeah, and then now they win a couple series outright. So the volatility of a baseball season, the yo-yo effect of a baseball season.
And I guess that's why you play so many games, Rick, because you're going to have those days.
Obviously, the momentum and but you know
right up on that. Dude.
The Cowboys, they're tied. They're in a 3-way tie for second. They got Southeastern coming up this weekend. So again, it's somewhat like LSU. If you stay kind of near the upper half, you go into conference tournament with some confidence, with a little momentum and a higher seeding, and then you get into the regionals. And
that's true.
Can anything happen with LSU once they get there? Let's assume they can get to the regional.
I mean, particularly
seem
get
like
to the
saving
regional
for the Cowboys.
postseason. Well, McNeese will have to go on the road. LSU right now is probably on the bubble for hosting the first round of the regionals. To the point where if they did it today, I think they would host.
Okay.
So the next couple of weeks, they can blow it, you know, to the degree that they would.
And that's all they have.
Yeah, I mean, keep it in mind, I mean, LSU's going to have to really get hot. Their goal every year, beyond, other than Omaha, obviously, is to end up with one of the 8 national seeds where you would host the Super Region. I mean, they're going to have to really get hot to get into that discussion.
You are the best to navigate this landscape.
He's saying they're not doing too good.
I would say it's probable. I think it's probable.
Wow.
If they both won. I mean, the NCAA.
And that's nothing against the Raging Cajun.
Yeah, no.
And the only bad part about that, man, I love the ULL's ballpark.
Yeah.
But it ain't big enough for that series.
No, not at all.
If that's to go to
That's
Omaha.
right. That's right.
Plus, I want to, you know, look at. I mean, I like Tony Robichaud, you know, ULL coach.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't it be nice to give both of them a chance to go? They were both there in 2000,
That's a
if
good
you
point.
remember.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So,
But
it's possible.
my guess, because ULL's in. I mean, they're good, and they would. I mean, barring a major meltdown, I think they're assured of a national.
How ironic
seed.
is that? How ironic is that? Sending
They
out
are good.
kudos. I ran into the Cowgirl softball coach Mike Smith today in and around town and congratulated him. 2nd straight softball Southland Conference championship. We know what happened last year.
Yeah.
Champion regular season. out in like 2 games of the conference tournament. Early exit. They've got the women's softball tournament is coming up in Hammond later on this week, and then their selection show is Sunday. He was kind of reminding me of the
assumption
schedule.
is they would probably go to Lafayette too for a regional.
Yeah. And you know, and of course, women's softball, anything can happen there with the pitching and how they come in. But again, kudos sending out to the Cowgirl softball team. Second straight Southland Conference championship under
Local
Mike
girls
Smith.
doing a great job.
Very well indeed. All right, we'll take a pause. When we come back, we might get into some basketball. We need to get into the Saints in the draft. What are their needs and who are they going to take? Okay, so be pondering that, gentlemen.
I'm still trying to ponder why the Saints would take an 18-year guy. But we'll talk about that when we get back. We will talk about that.
All right. That in more than about 2.5 minutes. Stay right.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com. Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
Behold the original light beer. The inventor of great taste and less filling. The one that dared to say maybe light beer should taste like beer. And for a limited time, Miller Lite is back in the original light can.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Sound Off 60.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
This is it. The big bang of light beers. The one that started it all. 96 of the hardest working calories in the business. And for a limited time, Miller Lite is back in the original light can.
Welcome back to Jack Daniel's at L'Auberge Casino. We got some NFL draft, and the Saints got to go.
Before we get into that, we were talking LSU baseball, and we really can't move on without mentioning that catch.
The catch.
That former Barb kid who's had a kind of a rough year, Jared Foster made Friday night. That's as good a catch. Look it up on YouTube. It's all over the internet.
It was that good.
That was as good. And the situation, I mean, bases loaded, tie game, bottom of the ninth. I mean, game's over if he doesn't catch that ball.
Really?
And then LSU goes ahead and wins in the
This is at A&M over the weekend.
Yeah, Friday against that. That was as good a catch as you will ever see.
Did it not get number one on the ESPN?
It was
top
number
10?
one on
Sports Center.
Sports Center's plays of the day.
That's great.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Now somebody told me
Good
later.
local kid.
I think I heard that later the Portland game or somewhere, one of the West Coast NBA games had a game-winning three that bumped it.
Really?
But I mean, that was just a basketball.
Of all
shot.
the baseball you've seen, greatest ever.
What?
In that situation?
There's none I would say were better.
Wow.
Really? That's a lot of baseball.
I have not seen the catch.
I mean,
haven't seen it either.
The grounding, just the way he had to stretch out, not just running to his side or just running back, but running at the angle, splitting the difference of going dead full speed. And I couldn't believe running that fast. He could jump that high.
Right.
To get to that.
I've got to see it. You got me.
Plus, he's right-handed, so he's having to go like that.
So basically, it dispelled the notion that white men can't.
I didn't say that. I'm saying.
Next time, all you got to do is pull up that video.
I want to see it.
White men can jump.
I want to see it.
New development.
But I'm impressed.
YouTube,
Local kid. Hey.
LSU Tigers, Jared Foster, former Barb star.
I'm
catch
impressed.
on YouTube. Check it out. Speaking of local talent and what they're doing, former Hamilton high school player and McNeese Cowboy football and baseball star Jace Peterson has been called up to the San Diego Padres.
Been there a couple weeks now.
Couple
Doing a
of
great
weeks
job
with
man.
the big club. And
Great
guys,
job.
that's a fast track, is
Yes,
it not?
it is.
2 years, maybe?
Yeah, that is fast.
2
man.
years in the minors?
2 years. He's up. That's pretty good. Hey.
Jace
Well, he was a
Peterson.
first-round pick or a
Yes, he
sandwich
was.
pick anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I remember we had him on this show.
He's been on the show twice.
Twice, yeah.
I remember
Good guy.
we
Great
had
guy.
him. I think it was the day before the draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we asked the obligatory, where do you think you'll go? He said, I'm expecting to go to the first round. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
And sure enough, next day, sandwich pick,
Yeah.
Jace
Yeah.
Peterson.
Well, he hits to get on base, and he's fast.
He
And
is
steals
fast. He
a
can
lot
run
of bases.
bases.
So
He can
be
run
on the
bases.
lookout. Jace Peterson.
Great job. Keep it up.
San Diego Padres.
Keep it
Back
up.
to the NFL draft and the New Orleans Saints. At this time, as we sit early in the week, prior to the draft on Thursday, they picked number 27. I think they'll stay at number 27. I think they need help on the outside. A lot of the wide receiver scenario does depend on Joe Morgan, and will Joe Morgan come back from the injury, and will he be okay? Now, they let Lance Moore go. They still have Nick Toon. A lot of the peripheral receivers are really kind of no longer there, but the staple of Kenny Stills, of course, and of course Marcus Colston. I think wide receivers up there, but I also think they need cornerback help.
No doubt.
Hello,
you got to
They
cover
need
him.
depth, and they need to cover people. Okay,
And,
so
I mean, you know,
I still want to protect Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I know you.
I mean,
and,
that's
you know,
the key.
I didn't realize
That's
this. I
key.
kind of
Scooter.
lost track, but Brian De La Porta is gone now. He was a staple at center, so he's gone now.
And you know what
I mean, that's not the sexy position to
No, it is
draft,
not. No,
but
it isn't. No, it isn't.
It gets it done, though. And you know, we talked a little bit about Champ Bailey, and we said, and I know Champ's a great guy, great corner, great athlete. But when you look back, what was the Saints' reasoning, I guess, in taking him?
They've got two
Was it to
really
put
good-
something in the
they've
locker
got-
room?
They've got, yeah, I think so, because he's a great
Okay.
locker room guy. However it shakes out, you're going to have a young secondary. I think it'd be a pretty good secondary, but it's going to be a young secondary. Yeah, I don't think they're asking him to play every down
Can't, Scooter.
this year. I
Can't.
mean, you know,
Can't.
maybe
He played 6
nickelback,
games last
something.
year.
I
He
don't
only
know.
played 6.
But I tell you what, he's one of the he's one of the better athletes who've been through the NFL the last 20 years.
I totally agree with you,
And
Scooter.
you know, and if it doesn't work out, if he gets hurt or he turns out he just can't play, they hadn't lost much. I mean, it was worth this gamble.
It's a year or two. Remember Darren Sharper, late in his career, and what he was able to do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What he was able to do.
No, I
Isn't that a
know
sad
exactly
story?
what you're saying.
We have not talked about
I know,
that
at all.
Darren Sharper.
I know.
But if you
has
saw
been
that year,
implicated.
that was a totally different type defense. That was the Saints Super Bowl team.
Yeah, of course.
I remember
But
Sharper,
that
too, man.
defense they played, remember it was like they had trouble stopping people, but they forced a lot of
lot of
turnovers.
turnovers.
Well, I mean,
39,
they
You're right.
just blitzed
Lots
like
of turnovers.
crazy. And Sharper played 30 yards behind
Yeah.
the line of scrimmage.
Waiting for balls.
He didn't play
He
safety.
did.
He played
No, he
center
did.
field.
He did. He did.
And it was.
He did, though.
But
You're
you
right
missed
about
my
that.
point. The sadness of the Darren Sharper story. He was
Yeah.
on the NFL Network, good-looking guy, very articulate.
Yeah.
And then he's alleged and implicated in drugging girls from Florida
Coast
to
to
California.
coast.
And that's-
from coast to
that's-
coast.
that was
All
crazy,
allegations.
man.
He hadn't had
Yeah,
his
that
day
was
in court.
crazy, though.
He has not had his
Yeah.
day in court.
And I hope he does.
He
I really
was
do.
implicated in charge.
Yeah.
So Darren
He
Sharper's
was.
got
Doesn't that
some
sound
legal
good?
battles ahead
No,
of
it
him.
doesn't. Doesn't at all.
So I think the Saints, at that spot, I said it earlier, you know, I like a big guy. Jarvis Landry, you saw him. I just saw him on TV. He catches balls with one hand, two hands. He can catch with his feet. It's just, but he's
Come
not
on,
fast.
Rick.
He's not fast.
Well,
I think he's faster
Costa's
than
not
people
fast.
think.
I'm
I
with
think
you.
I'm
he's
with Scooter.
faster on a football
I'm
field.
with you.
I'm with Scooter
But
on that. I've seen him run.
I'll tell you what, and I don't think Odell Beckham will be there. From
I was about
what,
to ask,
what
I don't
you
think
hear.
he'll drop.
You know, he's probably not going to be there. You never know what's going to happen in the draft, but probably he's not going to be there. And if he's not there, you know, I've heard Marquise Lee, a few others. Well, that's good. But if Beckham's not there, and assuming a couple of others, you know, maybe you do take a gamble. You might even get Jarvis Landry in the third. I don't think so.
Really?
I think.
No, I think he'll be going in the second,
NFL.
Scooter. No,
I think the
I don't think he'll
NFL
go to the
teams
third.
like Jarvis Landry a lot more than the mock drafts do. They're putting too much in that slow 40 time he ran at the combine.
This is a heavy
but if you ever
receiver.
look at a
It's a
guy
heavy
that can
receiver
play
draft.
some football.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and there are a lot of receivers
Right.
too. You're right.
Right.
So you know, everybody keeps talking about a wide receiver for the Saints, but assuming Beckham isn't there, you know, maybe you do get. You know, the Saints have had pretty good luck drafting LSU guys.
I totally agree,
you know?
Scooter.
A lot of times
Totally
that doesn't
agree.
work. But with the Saints
Totally
and the LSU guys, it's worked out pretty good.
For many years, Scooter.
Yeah.
I may be overstating it. I would not have a problem if they took Jarvis Landry. I'm serious.
In the first
Really?
round?
In the first round.
Yeah,
I'm
but
serious.
what I would tell
I'm
you
serious.
is you can get more value. He should be there when the Saints pick in the second round from what they're saying.
Maybe.
Now, what do you?
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
but
I wouldn't have a problem.
But my
But
point.
I would make me say maybe we can gamble. Maybe even if you have to move up
Yeah,
for
I
the
know what
next
you're
round.
saying.
But you can go somewhere else with that first round pick.
I know what you're saying. Save this thought if we get to it in the last segment of the show. When will the time come when the Saints go into a draft looking for the quarterback of the future? Think about that. I know it's not, maybe not.
I got the
now,
answer. I
but
got the
think
answer to
about it.
that.
All right, up against the clock.
I've got
We'll be
the
back
answer.
in
That's a
about
good
2.5
question,
seconds.
Rick, but I've got the answer.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort, home of Sound Off 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
So what are we doing at Tarver Ford this month? The lot's filling up with F-150s. I'm thinking we should do $12,000 off every one of them.
What about $13,000 off? That'll really get their attention.
That's it. $13,000 off of MSRP on every new 2013 F-150 in stock.
What about all of our new cars and SUVs?
Let's do everything. We got the largest inventory we've ever had. Let's put it all on sale. The only problem is I don't know how we're going to fit that all in one ad.
Man, I think you just did.
Come see us at Tarver Ford in Sulphur for the Everything's on Sale sale.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino. We promised you a big announcement, and here it is. May 24th at the Concert Center, the Special Events Center here at LaBerge Casino. Icon of Southern rock and roll, Leonard Skinner is coming to town to play LaBerge Casino. Memorial Day weekend.
Is he going to play Sweet Home Louisiana?
It's not he. It's the band. There's never
Yeah,
was
I
a
know,
Leonard
I know.
Skinner. Okay, all right.
Alabama.
Oh, it's.
They're going to play Sweet Home Louisiana?
And I love that song, man, okay? I love that song, man. I do. I really do.
A black man who
I'm
likes
just
Leonard
saying,
Skinner.
certain
Give it up
things-
to me, man.
Certain things I like, man. That
I
song's
thought
been
you
around
were
for a while.
Coolio the whole way.
Man,
I thought it was all
I mean,
Coolio.
I got a little bit of both, though.
You got it, huh?
But
All
that
right.
song just does something.
I
you know,
think
it
at
just-
one time
yeah,
I had every
it does
album.
something,
That's how
man.
far I go back,
I like
how
that.
old
I
I am.
agree
I
with
had
that.
albums of Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
It's May 24th. Enough
gonna be a
said.
big concert.
I mean, these
Big
guys,
concert.
they are Southern rock. Now,
gonna
the
be a big
Allman
concert.
Brothers are in there.
Yeah.
Marshall Tucker is in there. But when it comes to Southern rock, it's Leonard Skinner.
gonna be big. I
It's
agree.
going to be a big, big show. Get your tickets now. It will,
Yeah.
Kevin. What will it do?
What
It
will the
will
concert-
sell out.
Oh,
that's your
if it
tag.
haven't already.
5 minutes.
If it
If
haven't
not,
already.
not sold out already.
Please
All right,
get them. If
Kevin.
you haven't got them, please go and get them.
Later in the next segment, we'll get back to baseball. Fast pitch concluded in our region over the weekend. The boys' state tournament is coming
Pretty
up.
good weather,
Barb
too.
is one series away before
Yeah.
getting into the state tournament. We'll get into that in the next segment. Let's talk Donald Sterling. The story came to a head last weekend.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week. What was Adam Silver,
Look,
the commissioner,
let
going to
me-
do? Well, he did it.
Let me say.
With the support of the owners, everybody should know the story.
doubt.
Lifetime ban from the Clippers in the NBA, a maximum $2.5 million fine.
Yeah.
And he is calling on the owners to vote him out and to force him to sell.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently it's in their bylaws and constitution
Yeah, they
that
can.
if they get
But
three-quarters of a vote, they can force him to sell.
I remember when I first saw, I mean, it was what I was expecting, but then when I saw they fined him $2.5 million, I'm thinking,
The maximum.
that's
Yeah,
all?
that's it.
And then
Well,
I
that was
heard,
the max.
well, that's the maximum.
Yeah, that's the max.
That's like fining these players a couple of
Yeah, it
$100.
is. But you know what?
But who wrote the Constitution?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
owners.
yeah.
The owners wrote it. But
it-
Rick and
they-
Scooter, you know what?
Now, $2.5 million is still a lot of money.
Probably
Not to
the
him,
fine-
it's not,
No,
though.
it's not to him. It's not at all.
If that's all he had to do was pay the fine, keep the team,
Yeah, he'd pay
write
that.
a check.
He'd sign it out.
Probably had that in his pocket. But look, guys, the most defining moment in all of this to me, I mean, what was said was just horrific. It was just uncalled for. But when you look at Silva, you got to give this guy some credit, man. You have to make the way he came out in the press
Well,
conference.
he was strong and he was succinct and he showed good composure.
He
I
did.
will
Rick.
say
He
that.
did the obvious.
He did.
He
did the obvious.
There was nothing courageous about it.
No,
He
no,
did
no,
the
no.
only thing he could do. And
Granted-
speaking of which,
granted,
making
Scooter,
this,
but-
is that the whitest man in America?
Scooter.
Really?
No, he isn't. He isn't, but okay. Another
That is
weirdo
the whitest
observation
deal.
from Hobbs.
You just messed me up with that, okay? You totally did.
But you got, look, he did a great job at the podium.
He did.
He kept it
did.
short and he kept
To
it
the point.
sweet.
You
I mean,
know
to
what
the
he
point,
looks
to the
like?
question.
To the
He
point.
looks like a young James Carville.
Yeah. No, I know
I'm
what you're
gonna have
saying.
to study that one.
I know what
I don't
you're
know
saying.
where
No,
you're going.
no, I
I'll
know
study
what-
that one.
Carville, a local politician guy, a local analyst.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that
He's a
big
New York
Democrat.
lawyer, so he
He's a
spends
big
a lot of
Democrat
time
and
in
his
New York.
wife's a Republican. But the thing with me, he sent a message. And they interviewed a couple of the owners. And I was surprised of some of the comments that some
That's
of them
all
made.
fine and good.
Publicly, though,
But-
they
but-
were
but
saying,
I'm
no,
saying-
he should be gone. An owner said, no, he should be gone. That's
Kevin,
uncalled
this
for.
is not.
But
Nothing was. He did the only thing he could do. He had to do that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? You were talking about he sent a message. He did not need. In this case, there was no need to send a message. They all know it was wrong.
Right.
You don't need to
there's
send
a
a
lot of
message.
things. There's a lot of things happening. in
And
life,
this
Scooter.
isn't a case where, you know, like a lot of athletes will do from time to time. Or I had a mistake in judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you messed up.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a mistake in
Well,
judgment.
and Sterling has a history, and the NBA knows that, and he confronted that.
Yeah.
And it was an obvious question: why did it take this for the NBA to really see the
realize.
man's true colors?
No,
Well,
that's a
Silver said,
legitimate
look,
case.
And
That's a legitimate
and
point.
they knew.
Yeah,
And they
but,
knew.
but he said,
This-
look, now this is, it's evidence. Here it is.
I also
It's
get
evidence.
tired, if I can go the other way a little bit, when I hear a pundit go all, oh, after all these years of the civil rights movement, this just shows how far we still have to go. Well, that's bull.
no,
That's
no.
one person.
One person.
And
You're
I
right.
think 99% of America agreed that it was asinine
Yeah.
Right.
what he did.
Yeah, it was.
So don't
It
tell
was.
me this is a reflection on America. It's
Yeah.
not.
No, I don't believe
it's
that.
one
It's a
person.
reflection of Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
But to me, you know, for a man such as Sterling to be in his position, would you really be that not conscious of doing something that stupid? Honestly, guys.
Well, he
honestly
didn't
though.
He spoke his mind, and apparently he spoke his true feelings. Now, the question of the legality of him being recorded without his knowledge, California
That's
is
another
a
legal
two-person,
issue. That's another
how
legal
do they
issue right
term
there,
that?
yeah.
It's a two-way state.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You have to know you're being recorded.
Yeah, I know. So what?
I know that.
It doesn't
I'm just-
change
it
what
doesn't
he
change
said.
I know
what he
that.
said.
I
Yeah.
know that. But
It doesn't-
he did say what was in his heart, and that's what's in his heart.
I've heard that. It wasn't fair to record him. Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change what he
It
said.
doesn't change.
Yeah.
It does not change. And still, what little I've done, and I haven't, you may have done more, Scooter. How did it get to TMZ? I don't
You
know
know
if the
what?
girlfriend has come out and admitted that she released it. How did
TMZ
Oh, the
gets
girlfriend's
everything.
trying to
T-
blame it on somebody
TMZ
else.
I don't
gets
know.
everything, man. You can't even be surprised
I mean,
at that.
But I
They
mean,
get
you gotta
everything.
watch in
These
these
I
folks
days.
sleep
don't
in
know.
trees.
I don't know,
T-
but
TMZ
let's put
sleep
2
in
and 2.
trees.
I bet it equals 4.
This is a powerful tool.
Oh, yes, it is.
We've talked about this.
And it has a zoom lens on it too.
In this case, 2 and 2 is probably going to equal 4.
Interesting.
It doesn't always, but my guess is it will.
Well,
in this
okay.
I
so,
agree.
And this story has not ended.
No, it's not.
Because Sterling may end up trying to fight this.
Oh,
And
he
we're going to
will.
see
Oh,
how the
that would
NBA
be
owners
that
vote.
would be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
But I think he
It'll
just
end.
want to buy some time in doing that. I mean, it's not going to change anything. It is what it is.
They ought to let him keep the team just so they can ignore him in the little owners' powwows.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is going to go the way Silver wants it to go.
Great job,
Stump
Silver.
the Wise Guys coming up next. More baseball's coming up next.
Yes.
So we want you to come back. Stay right here. We're coming back in about 2.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort.
Behold the original light beer. The inventor of great taste and less filling. The one that dared to say, maybe light beer should taste like beer. And for a limited time, Miller Lite is back in the original light can.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judd, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Sound Off 60.
This is it. The big bang of light beers. The one that started it all. 96 of the hardest working calories in the business. And for a limited time, Miller Lite is back in the original light can.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels. We call it Stump the Wise Guys. We
Yes.
have a lot of fun with the lovely ladies. That would be Paige and Darby. They're ready. And we are too. Here we go.
What player was at the center of the huge multi-draft pickup and trades between the Dallas Cowboys and Minnesota Vikings back
Herschel
in the early
Walker.
1980s?
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker.
Come on.
Georgia.
Little
Herschel
tougher.
Walker.
A little
Herschel
backstory.
Walker.
It was like 6 or 7
There
or
was
8
6.
trades.
It was almost similar. Well, that
it as many as
trade laid the groundwork.
for Ricky Williams, yeah.
Laid the groundwork for the Cowboys' great teams through the 90s.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't get Herschel Walker,
Yeah.
but they got all the
Yeah.
all those great players. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right
I mean, Aikman, Irvin, all of them.
You're right.
In 1999, the New Orleans Saints gave up multi-draft picks and let them...
Ricky Williams.
Okay.
Ricky Williams. That's a no-brainer there, boy. That's
Okay,
a no-brainer there.
quick work and good
Ricky
work.
Williams, that's a
All
no-brainer.
right,
Darby.
now it's Paige's turn.
You didn't even wing us.
You are done.
Number 3. Name the last quarterback actually drafted by the Saints.
Wait.
Wow.
Wait.
Drafted by
Drafted.
All right, they went from ridiculously easy.
Aaron wasn't a draft, he was a trade.
I want to say it was that guy from Florida State, the black quarterback. What was his name again? McPherson? Adrian, remember he got hurt by a mascot?
He had been
in
he had been in a little trouble at Florida State. Adrian
Can we go with that final and last answer, AJ?
We're going to go with that.
It's actually Oregon State quarterback
Sean Canfield.
God dog it.
The Wise Guys.
God dog it. Hey, all right now.
Say what year that was?
What year was it? All right, we'll let you have
I
that
don't
one.
even remember him.
Number 4 is who was the first LSU player drafted by the Saints and named the last LSU Tigers selected by the New Orleans Image.
There you go, LSU boy.
Okay, I'm going to
First
say.
or last?
You mean,
Wait.
okay, the
last
last was
Denver.
Al Wood, I think.
You're right. Offensive tackle.
Al Wood?
Or defensive
No,
tackle.
they
Wow.
drafted
Scooter, come on now.
Him?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Al
they did.
Woods?
Yeah, they did. They did. From,
Yeah.
right there.
He's
from,
with Pittsburgh now, but the Saints did
Yeah.
draft him.
I thought it was Devery Henderson.
I thought I was going to say Devery. I was going to say Devery Henderson also.
No, it's not. Al Wood was long after
I didn't know
Denver.
Al Woods was drafted by the Saints.
And don't tell me I'm not remembering right. I called Al Woods
Okay,
right
okay.
after it happened. And he said, I
It was
remember
low.
him
It
talking
was really
about
low, right?
Did he make the roster or
Low
did they
round.
acquire him?
No,
think-
he didn't. I don't think he made it
I think
this
he
first
was
year.
maybe on the practice squad. the
Yeah.
first
Okay,
year.
well, he drafted then. Okay,
got-
and
he
who
got
was the
drafted.
first? Who's the first one ever?
First one ever.
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you either,
Jimmy
man.
Taylor?
I couldn't tell you.
Jimmy Taylor
Come on, Scooter.
was on the Saints.
Well, he's probably drafted by the Green Bay
Look,
Packers.
He was in
I'm-
the expansion draft.
Yeah.
Or he retired. Who was the first?
I
Wow.
can't tell you.
Wow,
Give me
we
a
got,
timeline
like, two
or
easy
something.
ones and
Man,
two
but I couldn't
tough
even tell you what that would even be.
That had to be like probably 69 or 70.
Are you serious?
I would think.
There's no way.
Well, the first draft would have been what, 67
Seven.
or 8?
I'm guessing.
I don't-
Throw a name
I
out
don't-
because I don't know.
Help me out. I mean, make it. Don't give it away, but just make it close.
It was in 1969.
Oh, I wouldn't even.
69. What's
I
the
don't
player
have-
from
I
69?
don't-
Let me
I
think.
wouldn't even have a clue on that one.
Let me think. 69.
1969.
I wasn't even born.
No, I.
The last one was in 2004.
We got to get to bar
No, that's
baseball.
not right.
I think we're stuck. I think we're
I'm
stuck.
going to challenge the last one.
Tell
The
me.
last one was Al
First
Wood.
one was LSU player drafted was Tommy Morrell in 1969.
You're supposed to know that.
Okay,
Stop
I
knowing.
wouldn't have got
And then
that.
the last LSU Tiger drafted by the Saints was receiver Devery Henderson.
That is
All right,
not
so
right.
he's proving it wrong.
Oh, yeah, that was
No,
right.
they were wrong.
They're wrong because you know it's Al Wood.
Al Wood
Al
was
Wood.
drafted
Okay,
by the
Okay,
Saints.
Al Wood.
From
See, we are
Elton.
not stuck.
Al
once.
Wood from Elton.
You're right.
There we go.
And
So we
I'm
got
gonna-
that one right.
I'm gonna,
Great
I'm gonna
job,
prove
Darby
that.
and Paige.
All right.
I
Thank
think
you.
they
Great job.
asked. I think that came up before. That same
Well,
question.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you
And
why.
I went and
I didn't know he was
Partly,
drafted by the Saints.
partly because
Couldn't
why
remember
it's
that.
a non-factor, Scooter. Probably because he didn't play.
doesn't matter.
I know
that
what you're
wasn't
saying.
the question.
I know what
He
you're saying,
never
but that's why
suited up
folks
for the
can't
Saints?
remember.
I'm not
Is he
sure.
still
He
in the
may
league?
have, yes, he's with the Steelers.
Oh, good for him.
He's big as a wall. I mean,
But that question, I'm going
Okay,
to
I
bring.
believe
I'm going to
you.
bring the proof next week.
Scooter, we
It
believe
got
you,
by
man.
me.
Come
It
on.
got
I
by
don't
me.
know
All
where
right.
those
We
girls
believe
come
you.
up with those questions.
we believe you,
All right,
man.
fast
Come on
pitch
now. We
56.
believe you.
Another successful run out in Sulphur.
Yes.
Hackberry wins
Even
number 4 in a
without a
row.
lot of local teams in.
Not a lot, you're right.
And I think the tennis was down a little bit, but
Yeah.
not bad considering there
Well,
weren't a lot of local.
exactly.
That's what they in the. How long have they been doing that now? 12 years, something like that.
It's
I'm
pushing
That
it
is
longer
by
than that,
far the
Pushing.
fewest what you would call local teams.
Yeah,
that were
I think
involved
you're right.
in.
I saw the lineup and it did surprise me.
Was impressive.
The boys baseball tournament in high school will start next week. They'll get
Yeah.
through this week and it's next week. That's going to be interesting because it's all classes.
Right.
It's going to be from top to bottom, and
It's gonna be
going to
pretty
so
interesting.
we'll see. Now Barb swept 2 from Sulphur, so they go to the quarterfinals. They've got Catholic of Baton Rouge coming this week to
Yeah.
Barb
Two
for another series.
traditional-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
traditional Louisiana high school powers.
Powers. It's
Yeah.
going to be interesting. Barb is #1 in the country.
They are good.
On
Come on now.
several ranking
They are good.
polls. And we got to get Glenn Caccini
We got to get
on.
Glenn
We
in,
got to
man.
get
How do
Glenn
you just keep
Caccini
loading
on.
up each year like that? I mean, you have people that
Why don't
leave
you get
and
Glenn
graduate and get
Caccini
drafted.
on?
How do you keep them in
Why
like
don't
that?
you get him on one of those weeks? You got to be in Paris. Because all you got to do is ask him
I
one
know, he'll
question,
be-
and Kevin
I
and
know.
I can take the rest of the night off.
I know.
Glenn can talk.
Sound
Glenn
off
can
60
go.
will become Sound
Glenn
off
can go,
120
man. No, Glenn
with
can
Glenn
go. He
Caccini. But
can
he's a
talk.
great friend of the show,
Yes, he
and
is.
I'll place a call to
Yes,
him, and
he
we'll
is. We'd
see
love to have him, Rick.
what kind of schedule he has prior to the tournament. If
We'd
they
love
get
to have
in,
him.
From everything
let's
I've
not
heard,
count our
there've been
chickens.
a lot of good baseball teams out there.
Yeah.
But everybody says this is one of the best ones Barb's had.
#1 in the country. #1 in the country.
That's not
guys.
unprecedented. They've been number one
I
in the
know,
country
but
before.
come on, let's give them their due. #1 high school team
No, I'm
in
just
the
pointing out,
country.
that's not
And we've
uncharted.
Right
gotta
down the
say-
road.
And we've got to say one of the little key stars in there is the little guy we had on the show.
Ken
Lil
Infantino.
Fontenot.
Yeah, they got a lot of
changed
stars.
his mind,
Yeah.
remember?
He
Pardon?
did. We
He
should have talked
changed
about
his
that.
mind about
he changed his
Oklahoma
mind.
State. He is now
He's
going
staying
to
local.
ULL.
ULL. He's staying local.
Didn't we talk to him
We
about
did.
that?
We did. We did here on the show.
We talked to him about that.
We did here on the show. We sure
We're
did.
out of time.
Yeah.
Great show, Mr.
Yeah.
Guidry. Great show, Mr.
Love to be
Hobbs.
here.
We'll do it all again next time, everybody. Have a great NFL draft because that's coming up on Thursday.
Yes.
It'll be fun. We'll see you next time.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Sound Off 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Sound Off 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.